Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan. He serves on the Judiciary Committee, which oversees the Justice Department. He's also a member of the House Oversight Committee. Good to see you, Congressman. Thanks for being with us.
Good to be with you.
I'm going to ask you right up top, if the president is innocent, why is he not acting like he's innocent?
I think he is acting like he's innocent, but he's, like so many other Americans, frustrated by what he sees that took place at the top levels of the FBI. Jim Comey's been fired. Andrew McCabe's been fired. Jim Rubicki, former chief of staff, has left the FBI. Jim Baker, former chief counsel at the FBI, has been demoted, reassigned. Peter Strzok, former deputy head of counterintelligence at the FBI, has been demoted, reassigned. Lisa Page has been demoted and reassigned. Those are the top people at the FBI, so I think he's frustrated by that, as are the American people. And what we know they did, and when they started this Russia-Trump investigation in 2016, namely how they used the dossier.
Let me play one of your Republican colleagues, not exactly a fan of Democrats, not exactly somebody who hasn't gone after Democrats really hard, and not somebody who's gone after Donald Trump very hard, but saying, again, that Donald Trump is not acting innocent. Listen to Trey Gowdy.
If you have an innocent client, Mr. Dowd, act like it. Russia attacked our country. Let Special Counsel Mueller figure that out. And if you believe, as we found, there's no evidence of collusion, you should want Special Counsel Mueller to take all the time and have all the independence he needs to do his job.
Doesn't Congressman Gowdy have a point? If you believe that the
White House, Katy,
hold on, let me ask the question. If you believe that the investigation is going to end in not having any collusion and not end in anything being done inappropriately or wrongly, don't you want that investigation to be followed through if you're innocent?
Yeah, sure. And the White House has been clear about that. They said it again today. They want Mueller to complete his investigation. But at some point, when does it end? It's been almost a year. We've been talking about investigation in the Trump campaign and any coordination with Russia. To date, not one bit of evidence suggests that there was any type of coordination, any type of collusion. In fact, the Republicans on the Intelligence Committee said so last week in their report. So at some point, you sort of do have to ask the question, when is it all going to end? Or is this going to go on for the entire first term of the Trump presidency? We don't know. But at some point, let's finish up and let's get on with doing what the American people elected us to do.
If the president feels so confidently that he's innocent and feels so confidently it will end well in his favor, and if he really wants the Mueller investigation to go on unimpeded, why is he tweeting what he's tweeting? Why did he tweet what he tweeted over the weekend? Why is his lawyer coming out? Why is his lawyer coming out and saying this investigation needs to end? Why is he saying as much as he's saying?
Think about what the FBI did. The top people, the people I just talked about, many of them have been fired, a bunch of them have been demoted. They took a campaign opposition research document, dressed it all up, made it sound like it was legitimate intelligence, took it to a FISA court to get a warrant to spy on a fellow American citizen. When they went to the court, they didn't tell him the whole truth. They didn't tell him who paid for the document. They didn't tell him the author of the document.
That's what Devin Nunes, that's a Republican partisan finding. That's not what the Democrats found in the House Intel.
They found that
I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole. We have it in
This isn't a rabbit hole. This is why there's frustration, I think, from the White House and from so many Americans. Plus, they didn't tell the court that the author of the dossier, Christopher Steele, his relationship. They did tell the court. They didn't tell the court this, Katie, that his relationship with the FBI had been terminated. And why was it terminated? Because Christopher Steele was out leaking information to the press. The same thing Andy McCabe was doing, by the way. They didn't tell the court that.
Congressman, I want to keep you focused on this. And respectfully, let's talk about the way that Donald Trump is handling this investigation. Because you were very, very clear about how you did not like the way President Obama was handling investigations in the past, how you didn't like Bill Clinton having a meeting at an airport with the DOJ during the election. And it feels like, considering how strong you were with those opinions in the past, why do you think it's okay for the President of the United States to go after the Russia investigation, to go after Robert Mueller, to taint it by saying it is all a witch hunt? Why do you think in one circumstance it's completely appalling, and in another circumstance, and I'm asking you two things. You have one set of conclusions for when it's a Democrat in power, and you've got another for when it's a Republican, and I'm wondering with your logic why that is.
I look at the facts. The fact is the Attorney General of the United States met with the former President of the United States just days before his wife, Secretary Clinton, was scheduled to be interviewed by the FBI. You don't think that's unusual? And the President of the United States at the time said, oh, no big deal. I think that's highly unusual. Why did the Attorney General Lynch say she wasn't even going to make the decision? She turned it over to James Comey. Never happens. Never happens, yet it did with the Clinton investigation. And oh, by the way, the guy who ran that investigation, Peter Strzok, who interviewed Clinton, Abedin Mills, who interviewed all these folks who ran the Clinton investigation, he's the same guy who launched the Russian investigation, namely Peter Strzok. And we know with the text message we've now seen between him and Lisa Page, we know where Peter Strzok comes from. So, of course, if anyone was President Trump, they'd be frustrated by what if you were being investigated by the former head of the FBI and he had 15 lawyers looking into your life and all of a sudden he says, now I want your personal finances? Who wouldn't be frustrated by that? So there's got to be a frustration level on the part of the president. That's just normal. But the White House has been very clear. They want Mueller to finish his investigation. All I'm saying is let's get it done, for goodness sake. It's been a year now. It's time to get some conclusion to this.
I want to put up a tweet you sent out in 2015 about Obama commenting on the IRS investigation. And yet another political abuse of power, the Obama Justice Department has decided it will not charge Lois Lerner for her actions of the IRS. Not surprising, given that Obama prejudged the DOJ investigation in early 2014, saying there was not even a smidgen of corruption at the IRS. So you think it's not okay for a president to prejudge an investigation by saying there's not even a smidgen of corruption, but it is okay for the president to say that an investigation is a witch hunt and a hoax?
Yeah, the president said that about President Obama said there was not a smidgen of corruption, definitely influencing his attorney general. This is different. This is a special counsel. He's not saying his attorney general's not involved. In fact, he recused himself. I don't think he should have, but he did. So this is a different situation with the special counsel. It's been a stinking year now. Let's get some kind of conclusion to this.
So by your logic,
let's move on.
He's not influencing an investigation right now?
It's a special counsel, Katie. That was the whole point.
It's a special counsel appointed by his own administration.
Appointed by Rod Rosenstein, not appointed by Jeff Sessions, his nominee and his attorney general.
He appointed Rod Rosenstein as well.
Understand, but I think it's a completely different animal, and I think most Americans would think it's that's why you have a special counsel. That's why I've called for a second special counsel to look at all this. We called for it 7 months ago. That is what's needed to look at this whole mess with what the FBI did, clear back through the Clinton investigation, all the way through the Trump-Russia investigation. We do need a second special counsel. We called for it 7 months ago. And what's interesting, with each and every week, more and more members say I don't like special counsels, but I see no other remedy, no way the FBI can investigate themselves, and each and every week more and more members are calling for it.
What if President Obama called the Clinton investigation a hoax? What if he called for the Clinton investigation to get shut down? What if he attacked the FBI for investigating her emails? What if he fired his FBI director for investigating it? What if President Obama did all the things that Donald Trump has been doing? How would you react then?
President Obama did. He prejudiced the case.
No,
he said Clinton didn't do anything wrong.
He did not call anything a hoax. He didn't demand for it to be shut down. He didn't fire his FBI director for investigating it. And even if you do concede the point, Congressman,
Katie,
two wrongs don't make a right.
I agree with that, but I also understand it wasn't President Trump. It wasn't Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The reason Andy McCabe got fired was because the Office of Professional Responsibility, FBI, the FBI, his colleague said he should be fired.
James Comey.
Yes, and I'd say that's long overdue. I think Comey completely messed up the entire Clinton investigation. And you know what? I took heat from it because I criticized Comey 10 days before the election when he reopened the case. I said he was wrong then, just like he was wrong in July. And I took heat from Republicans for saying that. So I've been consistent in this whole thing. James Comey screwed that entire mess up, and that's why he should have been fired. I thought he was wrong both in July and in October when he reopened the case.
Why haven't we seen the IG report for Andrew McCabe?
I think we will see the IG report soon. The last time we spoke with Mr. Horowitz a few months ago, he said April was when he thought it would come out. We're a few weeks from April. Let's hope it comes out then. And I look forward to that report. I hope it's sooner rather than later.
Congressman Jim Jordan. Congressman, thank you so much for coming on. We always appreciate it.
You bet.